Okay, I'm here with Sam, and he's starting to do the layup for part 3 of project 2, which is a spark plug tray. So he went through and followed the instructions off the form here, and went ahead and cut the 3 pieces of foam to the desired measurement. Then he went ahead and using the warp clock from the previous project, went ahead and cut his fiberglass sections in the correct warp, and went ahead and cut some pieces of peel ply so he's got everything right in front of him. So now he's got his foam. He's just going to dump a little bit of that micro slurry on there, and then just kind of squeegee it around. And really all we're looking to do here is just get a nice thin coating of this micro slurry over the foam. What it's doing is it's going to fill any voids. The foam has tiny little holes in it. So this micro slurry is just going to fill those tiny little voids in the foam. Yep, and he can kind of move it around with his squeegee, popsicle stick, whatever you want to use. And then any excess he can put back in the cup. And just get good coverage and get kind of over the entire foam piece. Then he'll lay his first piece of glass on there. And then he can probably just kind of let that sit and go ahead and do the slurry on all the pieces of foam. So the good thing about this slurry is, like I said, it just kind of fills any voids, gives you a nice base for the fiberglass to adhere to. So then you can kind of throw a piece of glass on there that's cut to the right according to the blueprint, the warp clock. So one nice thing that Sam has done is we have it's tough to see it here, but we got a layer of plastic over the table. Then he's got paper on that. So any mess that he kind of accidentally makes is not going to be a big deal, because the table is actually protected by the plastic. So he's got that piece on there. So now he's in good shape, and then now he can just kind of come back with just resin and just put resin right on top of there, just a little bit, and then squeegee it around. And he premixes. He premixed that slurry, and he premixed a batch of resin here. So I love the resin on this fiberglass because you can immediately tell when the fiberglass is completely wet out, because it becomes almost translucent, and you can really see when that fiberglass is completely wet out. It kind of loses the whiteness and becomes translucent. Sam is also making sure that resin, he's kind of just squeegeeing it right off the edge, which is what you want to do. You just want to squeegee it right towards the edge, because you want that fiberglass that's just off the edge of the foam. You don't even have to do that. You can just squeegee it right off the edge, and then that resin will... Whoop, careful, careful.
Oh, Jesus. That's perfect for the video. Didn't even notice I was holding on to the cup.
Yeah. So now you can take your squeegee and just squeegee, try to get as much of that. We want to get as much of that off as we can. And then you can go right to the next one.
Put it down there.
Yep, that's probably all the resin you'll need. Just squeegee that around. So always kind of squeegee like from the middle out towards the edge. So you kind of, there you go, you squeegee from the middle out towards the edge, and then as long as you get enough resin kind of just out the edges. So then you're right back to where you started. So now you can put another layer of glass.
Correct layer of glass. I almost grabbed the wrong one.
Right behind you. No, behind you. So then take your squeegee or your popsicle stick, whatever you want to call it, put a little bit of resin, and you come back to this one. Get a little bit of resin on there, get that piece of that fiber you want to get rid of all that.
A few entrapped in there.
It's all right. He's mixing up more resin for you. Yep, so kind of just start in the middle and squeegee towards the outside. There you go, just like that, and that'll wet out all that fiberglass. And the goal, ideally what we want to do is we want to get completely wet out, and then we want to squeegee off as much of the excess resin as we can. But in this one, I like getting extra resin off the edge of the foam on the fiberglass because it. This is real life cooperation here. We had a little spill earlier in the video, and Zach has volunteered his services to come on over and fix up a spill. So this is teamwork in the shop here.
I'm a giver.
Note to self, don't hold the cup and spread.
Yep, so always start in the middle and squeegee out.
Alright.
And then the same thing, you could start in the middle and go out towards the long edge too. So make sure you get, there's a little, that looks like it hasn't been completely wet out in that corner there. There you go. So now, we got each side, we got 2 layers of glass on there according to the instructions. And we're gonna put peel ply on each side. So peel ply kind of works the same way. You put the peel ply on there, use your squeegee and squeegee as much of that resin that's on there into the peel ply. And if you need to, you can always add resin to the peel ply. If you need to, you can sometimes add a little resin to the peel ply, and that really helps. There you go. Start in the middle and go out. That's the perfect way to do it. And the better the better of a job you get the peel ply the resin soaked into the peel ply, the less sanding you need to do. And if you do it absolutely perfect, the peel ply will make it so you can do absolutely no sanding. Put a second coat of poly on that thing. Okay, yeah. And you can see that peel ply we have. It's kind of a green tint, but you can see that peel ply kind of soak up that little bit extra resin that's on there. Okay. So now what Sam can do is he can go ahead and carefully flip all these over. This one you'll just want to avoid flipping it into that puddle. Just he'll carefully flip it over. Yep, spread it out.
Yeah.
If you spread it out and press on it, odds are I'll even kind of move this over a little bit for you here so you have some room.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm here with Gabe. He has completed the first step or the first few steps where he laid his glass on the pieces of his spark plug tray. So we're going to show, they've been curing overnight, so now he's going to peel away the peel ply and we're going to see how it looks. You want to do a movie star? So you can see when he peels away that peel ply, it gives a nice matte finish and something that is easily sandable. And if you needed to bond another piece to it, you could bond a piece right to it. Good, so now Gabe has peel ply off of all three of his pieces. What he'll want to do then is take either a utility knife, scissors, snips, whatever works, and he's going to try to get all this excess fiberglass from both sides on all these pieces trimmed off while retaining the integrity of the foam and retaining the shape of the foam. So you can get it close with a scissors or a knife and then use either a hand sanding or a belt sander or something like that to get it nice and flush and even. So Gabe will do that and then we'll show you what that looks like. So I'm here with Gabe. He, in the last part of the video, he took off the peel ply. Now this is what each piece looks like after he took off the peel ply and cut all the fiberglass and sanded it to make the shapes that he needed. So what's gonna happen here is, Gabe, maybe I can have you. So this is gonna be the top of his spark plug tray. One leg is gonna end up being bonded to that side, and the other leg somehow will end up being bonded to that side. So he went through and sanded these and made everything the same size, made it perfectly square so it fits together. So now the next step is going to be to bond these together and draw where the holes will be here. Okay, so I'm here with Zach, and he's spent the time on his spark plug tray to cut away all the, he cut off all the fiberglass, he sanded everything, made everything nice and smooth. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix up some flocks. So we already kind of started. He has everything he needs here: 2 strips, 2 tapes of glass, some peel ply, and 2 cups of resin. And we're gonna mix flocks with one of those cups. So flocks right there. We're gonna mix enough flocks to make it the consistency of, I don't know, mayonnaise maybe. Basically what this does is this makes a glue. The flocks is a good bonding agent, so we're gonna mix that up. And this is your good side, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna go like this. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put flocks on this edge right here. So maybe we'll put your piece up like that, and we're gonna put pretty liberal amount of flocks. Careful that you don't get it all over the top. Be kinda careful with it. We can clean that up. We can. That part I'm not worried about, but the top part we want to clean up. Okay, and we're going to put a little bit of flocks on this piece. Is going to go whichever way.
This side up.
Okay, now what he did is he pre-drilled some holes where the nails are gonna go. So he's gonna put that on like that. And get it nice and flush and straight. He wants that nice and flush. Then he's gonna take one of his nails. Here, do you want me to hold part of it?
I got her.
Get it nice and flush, and drive that middle nail when you think you got it right where you want it. Okay, notice he marked where his holes are, and he put that nail in a place where it won't interfere. So do you got it nice and flush where you want it?
Yep.
Okay, so then you can drive another nail. I have to let go of that for a second.
I got her.
Drive it, yep, drive the nail straight. Okay, now take your finger and just kind of wipe, or a paper towel or something, wipe it right into the, right in here, right onto here.
Oh, yeah.
Right under the back side. Yep, get it right into there.
Give it a little bit more on there.
Okay, you still got more on the front to wipe off. Yep, get that. Okay, and that's no big deal. So now we're going to do the same to the other side. So he's going to spread some flocks on there. Get kind of lots of it in that spot where you have a little void there.
To make a little bit more.
Yeah, you have enough. That's. Okay, and then spread a little bit on your leg piece. You've definitely gotten a little cleaner on this one. You've definitely got a little cleaner operation on this one.
Now you get a couple practice runs and it goes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll hold this for. I guess you don't need to hold. So the nice thing is with that flocks helps really, is a good bonding agent. drive one of the nails. Eventually, we'll try to get those nails, you know, as flush in there as we can. So notice how we mark those so they wouldn't interfere with where eventually we're going to drill the holes. So now we're going to get rid of some of these fibers. I saw some fibers around here. So now he mixed up, yeah, try to wipe as much of that off of there as you can. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so now we can flip it over, and he started over here. He started to mix up some dry micro. So he'll mix that around, get it the consistency of, we might even want a little thicker than that. Get it the consistency of, you know, thick frosting. So he's mixing up some glass beads in there. I'm going to clean up some of these fibers. These fibers from the fiberglass kind of get everywhere, so when you're working, you got to keep the fibers clear. And what we're going to do, let's get it a little bit drier than that.
Desert.
Be really careful with that dust. Did I tell you about that, Zach? You got to be really careful with that dust. Okay, now you're going to use that like caulk, and you're going to build up inside that inside. We're going to build up a little bit of a radius there. We're going to build that up so we have a nice radius. So we'll just kind of get a lot of it in there, kind of goop it in there, get it all in there first. Then we'll do what you were doing. Then we'll use that popsicle stick to. Yeah, just like that. So we got a nice, maybe we want a little bit more, tiny bit more of material in there. That's probably good. And then we can take that popsicle stick and we can kind of clean up some of the sides and a little bit right there. Kind of like that. Then what we'll do is we'll take one of these tapes he made, the fiberglass tapes, and he'll set it right in there. You want to pull it my way? Look, it's sticking out.
Yep.
Yours. And then you squeezed it really too, so you basically squeezed out any of that radius you had in there.
Let's see if I can get a little more.
Try to maybe get. You could kind of just goop some of the stuff that was in there. Okay. Okay, that's good for now. So we'll do the same thing to the other side. And my guess is this next side will be a lot cleaner operation because he's already done it. Oh, is it easier for you like that?
Yeah, this will work.
this is for the spark plug tray, but this actually makes the legs strong enough that when this is done, you could stand on this spark plug tray. But this is the same kind of construction that like a bulkhead would be made like this. If you were making a bulkhead, or where a rib might attach to the outer composite skin. Looks pretty good. Okay, then we'll put the other tape on there. And that filler kind of acts as a real nice radius. So now it's hanging off your end, so you want to get it so it's not. It just saves you work later.
Yeah, I won't have to cut it and sand it.
Yep, exactly. There you go. Don't worry about that, because you're gonna kind of get. You just want to get it nice and in there where you built that radius. Okay, so now what he's got a cup somewhere around here. He's got a cup of straight resin. Straight resin, and he's going to take a paintbrush.
We might have to mix some more up.
You don't have straight resin?
We did.
So I'm here with Gabe, and he's ready to do the top of his spark plug tray. He's got the sides; those were bonded in and cured. Now he's mixed up a batch of resin, just straight resin. This, he took the peel ply off of it, so it's ready to be, so he can dump a little bit of resin on there and just spread it all around the top of his part. Okay, so he's got the top completely full of resin. He's going to lay his piece of bi-directional glass right on top.
Oh, you're ready to do that one? Okay.
Now he's going to just use his squeegee and completely wet out that fiberglass. Try to get that. Yeah, be careful how you pull it. That's why, remember that video how he rolled it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you roll it on, it kind of alleviates that. I think you'll get it. Just got to get rid of that little bubble there. And he's just squeegeeing on enough resin and kind of squeegee off the excess.
You're going to do one side at a time. And then you want to make sure you put the permanent pipe in. I do this side first.
You got the bubbles right there? Somehow get those out. Yeah, you got to be really careful laying that glass on there it almost helps to roll it. So now you can lift it up and try to get resin on one of the sides. You can kind of, just let it and be kind of quick. Get it on there and. work a little quicker. You get that stuff spread on there, and that's probably good. And then put that piece on there. Get it kind of as tight as you can. Get all those wrinkles out. You're going to end up with wrinkles. So start getting it tight here. There you go.
For that one, no, that's right. But that one,
Yeah, and squeegee enough so it gets the fiberglass wet out all the way to the side.
And kind of pull it down and try to get that.
Yeah, you could try to. You're gonna end up sanding that anyway, so it doesn't matter. But now you got to get that other side. You got to work a little quicker somehow. Watch out for your resin there. Nope, you're gonna have to lay it on your board. No, nope, nope. Just like that. And now lift this up. There you go. This is one where I think a paintbrush helps. Putting this on with a paintbrush I think helps a little bit more. So you can quick go get a paintbrush if you want. Noah, will you grab one of those paintbrushes out of that wooden cabinet? Huh? No. Well, yeah, even one of those would help. But no.
Center hardener.
The wooden cabinet in there, the wooden handle paintbrush. Get rid of that thing, whatever it is. You got something on there. Nope, see it right there? The paint, the thinner than that, like that, but thinner. He's trying to get you a paintbrush, so that'll help you a lot. Try to get as much wet out. There you go. Good. That'll help. Get some. Then you can squeegee it.
Yeah, that kind of squeegees it a little bit better.
Somewhere right in there, you got some.
don't worry about pushing that out. And you put this on top of it.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And go for the peel ply.
Yep, and then what he's going to do is put a piece of peel ply over the whole thing. This is where you can use the paintbrush to Which one are you working on, AC? Those are yours?
No, those aren't mine. I just finished one. I put it in.
You finish your nameplate?
Yes.
Okay. You can always paint more. Yep.
onto it.
Get it on there really good. Try to make sure the peel ply is sticking everywhere. So then he's going to get this peel ply on all three sides and then let it cure, and then he can rip the peel ply off, sand everything smooth, and then drill his holes where the spark plugs go, and then paint it, and he'd be ready to go.